Pretty shameful stuff. You guys are using your followers. Now, we've had some tough feedback, but that one really hit hard, especially as I think it came from my mother. In fact, we've had several comments which we're going to want to address in this film, so please keep watching. 2 months ago, we told you about our plans to go into gaming and asked you to invest. The support and love we've had from you and from the press has been overwhelmingly positive. We launched a Steam page for Brass Rain, our first game, and it's already in the top 2% of wishlisted games on Steam. More than 2,000 of you around the world invested in us. We're making great progress with over $1 million in investment, and with just a few days left to go on our raise, this may be your last chance to get a piece of Yarn Hub. But on top of all the great comments that we've had, I think it's also fair to say that we've had some criticism, and even the occasional troll. Now, that last one, I've always said I've got a face only a mother could love, so I think it probably came from my wife. But honestly speaking, we have to take the more spicy comments, excluding the ones about my face, on board. We get it. It's your hard-earned money. And if by the end of this video, you don't think I've given a good enough roadmap around our plans, then please don't invest. So with that, let's go. What do you guys know about gaming? Well, this is fair. Our company has not released a game before. Now, we do produce our films in Unreal Engine, which, as many of you know, is a game engine. We also produce our assets, tanks, planes, and soldiers, in a form that can be used in-game. But our experience from our core team in getting a game into production was lacking. To address that, we hired leaders from the industry that we've now been able to integrate fully into our team. In addition, we've hired some amazing developer talent, which is already producing excellent results. In terms of personnel, we're now a games company with many years of experience on our team, even though this is, as a company, our first game. Your roadmap's 2 years. How are you going to get a game out in that time? Well, one thing that I think was confusing in our offer was the roadmap. To be clear, we don't expect to be finished with the game in just 2 years. Instead, we'll have an early release with limited battlefields in 2 years' time in production on Steam that is making revenue. In order to have a game which is replayable and attracts people to come back again and again, we're going to have to be multiplayer in the first release. Now, playing against each other and with each other we see as an essential part of the success of Brass Rain. The development team size scales up to 15 people in the first 2 years, and with the raise, we've budgeted 2.5 years of cash for the development team, which gives us about 6 months of contingency. Isn't this just a donation? How do I get my money back? It's not a donation. We do want to give you a way to sell your shares, what's called a liquidity event. It sounds fancy, but really it just means that your investment can be sold. Our preferred liquidity event is to get to an IPO, where you can sell your shares on the market. We see other games companies that are publicly traded with a valuation of up to 10 times revenue. If we can achieve annual revenue of 25 to 50 million, which is our plan, then your investment is going to be worth multiple times what it is today. The door to an IPO would then be open to us, and at that point, you could trade your stock on the market. We hope those who invest now and stay with us to an IPO will benefit from a more than 10 times return on their investment. But this is not a guarantee, and as I've said before, this investment does carry risk. Also, there are a couple more options for you to exit other than IPO along the way, and we'll be looking at those as we progress, potentially offering share buybacks, for example. Pretty shameful stuff. You guys are using your followers. There are many YouTubers who have created businesses with the help of their YouTube audience. Mr. Beast has his chocolate bar, and Logan Paul has his energy drink. I can't be sure, but I doubt very many of Mr. Beast's millions of viewers asked him to produce a chocolate bar. Similarly, when Logan Paul got out of the boxing ring, I don't think he was asked by his viewers to create an energy drink. Now, I'm willing to be wrong on both of those counts, but my point is that a game using the Yarn Hub look and the Yarn Hub assets is something that you've been asking us for a very long time, repeatedly. That makes us think that a significant portion of our audience are excited about this. And the fact that over 2,000 of you have invested and have a stake in its future is just amazing. We've already got to 24,000 wishlists on Steam, which puts us in the top 2% of Steam games within just a few weeks. And it reinforces the fact that this is something that you guys want. We don't agree that it's shameful. We feel it's an extension of our content, and the entertainment that we provide to you, our audience. The current amount is around 800k, and having 40 employees, this is going to cover a few months or weeks of salaries. Seems like a money grab. We've gone way past 800,000, but it's fair to say that right now, we're still short of our goal of 2.2 million. As I said earlier, 2.2 million is going to get us to a 2-year runway with 6 months of contingency. We don't have 40 people working on the game. Our plan is to scale up to a maximum of 15 people in the next 2 years working on the game. The other employees that we have are paid for by the video business, and they won't be a drain on the funds raised for the game. If we wanted to do it as some kind of money grab, we'd have probably done some kind of initial coin offering rather than selling shares in our core company. Or we could have produced a far easier game, something hyper casual and mobile. It would have been relatively simple for us to come up with a concept that we could pitch that wouldn't cost much, that wouldn't take a great deal to do. Instead, we've picked a game that we want to play, that we think you want to play, a game that we expect to last for years to come, and for people to come back and play again. It's an ambitious target, but one that with the team that we have, we think we can achieve. But it's definitely not a money grab. Now, what if we don't make the 2.2 million on the raise? Well, it depends on how close we get to 2.2 million. If we get to 1.8, for example, we'll probably just readjust our budget and scope and work with the 1.8. If we're way below that, then we have a couple of options open to us. With the money we've raised and the social proof that we now have on Steam, we think we're able to raise from the VC community, but we may not even have to do that. Many of people have asked us if they could put large amounts in a month or two after the close, which we may consider doing, depending on where we are with the total funding. Now, as I've said many times, this isn't without risk, and so if you're investing money that's going to cause you an issue financially, then please do not invest. There are other ways you can help, like following and wishlisting our game on Steam. But if you would like to invest, it's going to be a ride, and we would love to have you on board. You have until the 1st of June to get involved, after which this campaign ends. So hopefully I've answered domain criticisms. If you had a burning question that hasn't yet been answered, you can go to our Discord or reach out to support@pickmecrowdfunding.com, and we'll be running a few AMAs and roadshows as webinars just before the close. And you can find full details of the offer in the link in the description. Thank you.